Most of our societies are structured around patriarchy, which means that it does not treat men and women equally. Societies do not look at gender equality as the basic principle. Women are born unequal, some believe that. Some believe that women are socialized into inequality. That means men get better opportunities, better accesses, they get better options in life later, and also of course this all gets reinforced through our cultural practices and traditions. Because let me give you an example that there are songs, the dramas, there are all kinds of literature, so much of writing that happens about celebration of boy child, because the value added to life of a man in society is much more, because he gets the higher status and woman gets lower status. So she is trained, socialized, given options and opportunity to be living a life of subordination. In some sense, she is only viewed as a person only as long as she is performing all those cultural and customary duties and practices that are assigned to her. That would mean that she is raised as a woman to procreate, to have children, to get married, to look into serving the family, the husband, the people in the family. So in some way she is never given that possibility of being an independent human being with her own mind, her own choice, her own access, which also is denied to her in a very, very major way. So she does not get an opportunity equally with men. And that's where, if in a very simplest term you can say, feminism addresses the question of inequality of sexes, between men and women. So if you want to say it in one word, you can say feminism is an understanding of social order or social systems, society, which really can explain that how the equality of sexes are not considered as something which is there, and patriarchy really creates this inequality, and that's how the societies are built. And over the years this realization happened, and I can say that beginning of the century this was much more strongly, especially after the Second World War. It was really an idea which started flowering everywhere. Women started understanding and realizing their own wrongs that they are meted out to, whether it is as a child, whether it is a young adult, whether it is working as an elderly woman. So at every stage of life, from womb to tomb, women faced discrimination, subordination and inequality. So that's something which is extremely important, which was addressed. And of course this has been the century of assertions by the people who are underprivileged, who are being not treated well, whether it is the Dalits, for example, in the context of India, or the people of color, or migrants who come and settle in another. So everybody who has been seen as the other and not treated well by the mainstream of society or majority of the society, they have risen and asserted themselves. So in this century, that is the 20th century, women, 19th and 20th century, women also rose to this whole challenge and the cause, and asserted that they are also should be treated equal. They should be given the kind of human dignity as a person, not only seen as a daughter, wife, mother and subservient human being, but a human being who get that equal right. Now when I talk about equality of sexes, I'm not talking about men and women being equal in every which way. I mean, these are two human biology, and that's where we are looking at in the feminist thinking. The idea moved from women, looking at women, their problem, and also a lot of feminists started looking at just the male and female biology as the part of the problem. But a lot of us who really worked hard to understand the discrimination, inequality and its roots, where it comes from historically. Then we understood it is the systems and the structures. So culture creates the systems and the structures, and if you are put into, let me give you an example, if you are rolled into a machine and put in different kind of modules coming out, then you are coming out, when once processed by that machine, you come out in the same way every time that the whole raw material is put, and the final product will be similar. So that's the machine the society is, you know, where boys are trained to be boys, girls are trained to be girls, and then they become a woman, then they become a mother, then they become a mother-in-law, and of course that whole training then creates that kind of a social mindset, behavioral pattern. It creates the way they look at each other, and discrimination starts. This in 2015, when we are in 21st century, which is the century of women. This is not going to be acceptable, and this has been challenged throughout. We are not seeking biological equality, we are seeking equality in society. We want patriarchy to be smashed and new value system which is based on gender equality to be established. So for that there is a whole restructuring process that has to go through, which is called gender restructuring towards equality. And it is possible because it is not men and women. So it's not the body of a woman or a man, or a biology of a woman or a man. So men can be as strong feminist as a woman can be. A woman can be as bad patriarch as men are by and large. So it's possible because it depends on how you are, where you are placed in the social order, and what kind of a socialization process you've gone through, and what kind of access, control, authority and power you exercise. So that's why there is a lot of hope from women to gender when this conceptual shift happened in the understanding of feminism and feminist movement, that there's a lot of hope of men and women equally working towards getting the gender equality as the core value of any society and doing away with the patriarchy.